Hello, good afternoon. This is your personal person, Malik Algani. Sorry for the delay between this video and the last one. I was feeling a little bit sick. Anyway, today's video is called Buy Assets, Not Liabilities. Have you ever wondered why the rich continue to get richer and others struggle? If you examine what the rich spend their money on versus other people, this becomes obvious. One of the big problems is that the subject of money is not taught in schools but taught at home. So what can a poor parent really teach their child about money? That is why we have highly qualified professionals earning lots of money but still struggle financially. When I finally understood that making wealth is not a mystery but a formula, and that many people do not know the formula or simply do not apply it, I decided to do this video. The formula is this: buy assets that put money into your pocket. The rich buy assets, the poor and middle class buy liabilities that they think are assets. Another problem is the definition of an asset. The traditional definition of an asset is something that you own or have equity on. However, in the 90s, Robert Kiyosaki redefined assets and liabilities. An asset is simply something that puts money into your pocket, and a liability is something that costs you money, which makes a lot of sense if you think about it. I'll give an example. Many of us, we view our homes as our assets. In the traditional sense, it's true because we have equity on it. But in reality, it's the banker's assets because every month we pay him a mortgage. And this house costs us more to live in it because we have other expenses. We got bills, which is utility bills, council tax, just to name a few. Now, if we decide to rent this same house out, and at the end of the month, after all expenses, we have some money in our pockets, then it becomes an asset. Other than that, it's a liability. We all remember the 2008 recession. Many people became bankrupt. They had to give the houses back and everything, so it belongs to the bank. Now, in economics, people are categorized into three groups: the working class, which is you and I, the middle class, the high income earners, and the rich. These are people that are financially free and can do whatever they like. Now let's start with the working class. Many working class find themselves in financial strain because they spend their money buying stuff. These are inexpensive things we do not need to live. But most of us are in this survivor mode that we go out and buy this stuff because they are cheap. We say, one day I might need it, but you never do. We buy them on sales, discount shops, car boots, and at the end of the day, that's all we have, stuff. At the end of the month, we're broke, we're waiting for the next paycheck. I know this group very well because that used to be me. Now the middle class. These are the group that many people mistake for the rich because they have these high-paid jobs, huge expensive mansions, they drive these flashy cars, take expensive holidays, which in reality many of them are worse off than the ordinary man because those big houses, expensive cars, holidays, and credit card bills are what keeps them prisoners. Many of them spend equal to what they earn or even more than what they earn. And another problem is that many of them have just one job. So when they lose their job, it doesn't take long before the crack starts to show. That's £100,000 car, they can only get 50,000 for it or less. That huge mansion, nobody wants it, it's too big. Now, we all have expenses and bills to pay. The trick is to keep your expenses low and your income high. I have this trick I always play on myself anytime I want to buy something that I think is a little bit expensive. I say to myself, if you lose this thing, would you lose any sleep over it? If the answer is yes, then it's too expensive. If the answer is no, then I can afford it. Many of us, making money is not the problem, but what we spend our money on is what keeps us in bondage. Now let's talk about the rich. These groups spend their money buying income generating assets. They really do not work for money, money works for them. They buy bonds, investment stocks, they buy income generating real estates. They spend their money by investing in businesses that do not require their presence. They go out to learn new skills that will earn them more money. and then they continue to reinvest and reinvest till they have passive cash flow. Then they can go out and buy whatever luxury they want. The poor and middle class buy luxury first because we want to look rich. The rich buy luxury last because now they are rich. I believe we all need to try to be rich or financially successful, because then we don't need to worry about where our next meal or how to take care of our family and stuff like that. Then we can focus on what is really important to us. To somebody's charity, to another person is spiritual. Now I'd like to say this before I go. Minding your own business has never been more important in this time that we're living. I don't know about you, but in the country that I live in now, every company is laying off people. You go to a bank, there is no cashiers, just machines. British Telecom just announced, BT, they are laying off about 30,000 people because they are moving their company somewhere else. House of Fraser, the big retail shop, are closing the Oxford Circus shop. 6,000 jobs is going. Marks and Spencer's, they're closing over 100 shops. So no job is really secured. And even though the acronym for a job, JOB, just over broke. So how long would it take you after you've lost your job before you go bankrupt? Start today. Mind your own business. Have another source of income. The sooner you start, the sooner you can enjoy yourself and focus on what is really important to you in your life. Today's decision determines tomorrow's reality. This is Malik Algani, your personal person. Till my next video, please leave your comments, subscribe, and you can even tell me whatever topic you want us to discuss next time. Thank you.